A part of your life in Slater, WHO-TV 13 in Des Moines. Eyewitness News with Jack Cafferty, Phil Thomas, Jerry Reno, Jim Zabel, and the rest of the Eyewitness News team. Now, here's Jack Cafferty.
Good evening. In Utah, the execution of convicted murderer Gary Gilmore is off.
From Channel 13, Central Iowa's award-winning news station, this is Eyewitness News.
Good evening, I'm Phil Thomas.
And I'm Greg Burden. Welcome to Eyewitness News. As you can see, we are doing the news from a new, more attractive set tonight. Here's the lead.
And now Mike Keene and TJ Fear with NewsCenter 13.
Good evening, everybody. It doesn't happen often, but there are times in the news business when the man overshadows the event.
Watching WHO-TV Des Moines, the news source. And now, from Iowa's News Center, Scott Pope, Susie Robinette, meteorologist Mike Lozano, Jeff Vinefor with sports. This is News Center 13 at 6.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
This is News Center 13 at 6 with John Bachman, Susie Robinette, meteorologist Tim Hedrick with weather, and Jeff Vinefor with sports.
Good evening. A holiday tragedy in a small Iowa town tonight.
A house fire in Grand Junction, Iowa, has killed a grandmother and her granddaughter.
You're watching WHO TV 13 Des Moines. And now, the news team that's making a difference in Central Iowa. John Bachman, Kelly Eckerman, Jeff Vinefor on sports, and Gary Amble with tonight's forecast. This is News Center 13 at 6.
Good evening. We begin tonight with ear-splitting noise.
It's agonizing for Southside residents. They have had enough.
You're watching WHO TV 13 Des Moines. And now, the news team that's making a difference in Central Iowa. Scott Pope, Allison Gregory Pope, Tony Powers on sports, and Ed Wilson with tomorrow's forecast. This is News Center 13 at 10.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us. Somewhere out there tonight, people who care are searching the streets of Des Moines for the homeless.
They want to bring them in where it's warm to keep them from freezing to death.
WHO TV 13 Des Moines. Your 24-hour news source. And now, John Bachman, Kim Kerrigan, Jim Zabel with sports, and meteorologist Gary Amble with tomorrow's forecast. This is News Center 13 at 10.
Live from WHO TV 13, where the news comes first 24 hours a day. John Bachman, Kim Kerrigan, Rick Silvestrini with sports, and meteorologist Gary Amble with your weather. This is News Center 13 at 6.
A sound that certainly isn't music to anyone's ears. A variety of viruses have Iowans in their grips.
Everybody's watching this case, and they've got to do what's right.
And Randy Weaver speaks out on his first full day back in Iowa. Good evening. The last time Randy Weaver had spent the night under the same roof of his children, their Idaho cabin was under siege by federal agents.
Live from WHO TV 13, where the news comes first 24 hours a day. Scott Pope, Therese Thompson, Pat Paris with sports, and Jerry Reno with the weather. This is News Center 13 at 10.
Children make a gruesome discovery off of Polk Boulevard in Des Moines tonight. Investigators now trying to identify a human skull.
If Joseph White
and dozens of residents turn out for a march downtown to protest the Drake Diner murders verdict and rally support for Joseph White Jr. Good evening and thanks for joining us. We'll have more on the discovery of the skull and the rally at the courthouse in just a few minutes.
From WHO TV 13, your 24-hour news source. This is NewsCenter 13 at noon.
The turnstiles opened at 8 o'clock sharp and have been running non-stop ever since.
It's day one of the country's #1 state fair. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a perfect day to start the 1996 Iowa State Fair.
Live from NewsCenter 13, your best choice for news starts now.
Right now, I'm just here because I love my children.
A former Des Moines man returns tonight to visit his abused, hospitalized son and try to get him back, but there may be a roadblock.
But our top story tonight, the special assignment team has learned Circus is out of luck and out of time in its effort to buy Prairie Meadows. Good evening. What began with lots of fanfare will end in a fizzle.
Live from WHO TV 13, your 24-hour news source. John Bachman, Kathy Soltero, Pat Paris with sports, and meteorologist Ed Wilson with your Doppler 13 forecast. This is NewsCenter 13 at 10.
A massive effort underway in Reno, Nevada. You'll see the exhausting effort firefighters making to take control of the wildfires.
Live from WHO TV 13, coverage you can count on. John Bachman, Laurie Groves, and First Alert meteorologist Ed Wilson with pinpoint Doppler radar. This is WHO TV 13 News live at 5.
A Norwalk police officer stands to lose his job after being charged with 2 misdemeanors following a scuffle in a Windsor Heights bar. Next, find out why Norwalk residents are standing behind Officer Alex Betts, a man they call a community cop.
Also, it's a little-known service the Iowa State Patrol routinely performs. Next, we'll show you the inside story of the blood run and how it saves lives.
And you've got 2 hours left to find a Valentine. We'll show you how some have experienced success online, as well as a 72-year love story for the ages. Coverage you can count on starts now.
Live from WHO TV 13 Des Moines, home of Chopper 13. This is WHO TV 13 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Lauren Halifax.
I'm John Bachman.
Our top story tonight, a local police officer who has spent countless hours fighting crime now finds himself on the wrong side of the law.
2 Iowa soldiers are laid to rest in 2 days, both killed in combat. Tonight, hear from the family of fallen soldier, Sergeant First Class Scott Knisley. The statistics are astonishing. More women have lost their lives to domestic violence in the last 9 months than in all of 2005. Important information you need to hear. And he says he's not guilty and not a quitter. But today, Brian Gilbert steps down as the Dallas County Sheriff.
From WHO TV, this is Channel 13 News at 10.
Tonight, Dallas County is faced with a tough question. Who will take over for Brian Gilbert?
From WHO TV, John Bachman, Aaron Kiernan, meteorologist Ed Wilson, and Keith Murphy Sports. You're watching Channel 13 News at 10. From WHO HD, the local news leader. You're watching Channel 13 News, today in Iowa.
She always said, hey, what's up? You know, she liked to talk and, you know, she always had a good smile on her face.
Straight ahead, as the memorial in Pello grows, how friends are remembering the victims of a deadly incident at a Walmart there. A party at a warehouse in California turns deadly. How many people search crews are still looking for, and the latest in the investigation.
There's a lot of community members, a lot of community support for the cause, and hopefully a lot of support for what we're doing as well.
It's a way for people to clear their mind, how a special yoga class is catering to the men and women in blue, and how it's helping local police departments not only mentally, but financially.
From WHO HD, the local news leader. This is Channel 13 News at 6.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jody Whitworth. It's finally starting to feel more like winter. At least it will by the end of the night.
From WHO HD, the local news leader. You're watching Channel 13 News at 10.
Super Tuesday got him closer to the nomination, and tonight the remaining candidates tried to stop Donald Trump from closing the deal. Their stance on the fight against ISIS and the very awkward way the debate started out.
The help wanted signs are going up across downtown Des Moines. We'll tell you who's looking for workers and why it could mean a big payday for people who apply.
Even when the sun shines, you might want to bring an umbrella to the State House. See what lawmakers say they're tired of dodging while trying to get to work.
From WHO HD, the local news leader. This is Channel 13 News at 10.
Have you seen his hands? They're like this. And you know what they say about men with small hands?
That's what the campaigning has sounded like during the past week, and it didn't change much during tonight's debate. Good evening, I'm Erin Kiernan.
I'm Dan Winters. Thank you for being with us tonight. Fox News called it a debate. Straight ahead tonight, one of Iowa's most devoted public servants was laid to rest today, just hours after his wife passed away. We'll give you a look at the joint funeral for former Congressman Leonard Boswell in Doty. One does not reflect all. That's the message the Perry community was trying to spread today. We'll tell you why they held a unity rally after postponing their Latino Heritage Festival. And it's hurricane no more, but Lane isn't through with Hawaii just yet. We'll tell you the dangers that the lingering storm could present.
From WHO HD, the local news leader. This is Channel 13 News at 6.
What was scheduled to be a funeral for the late Congressman Leonard Boswell turned into a funeral of two after his beloved wife Dodie passed away early this morning. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Justin Cerncy.
WHO TV 13 Des Moines.